we had a conversation a while back about the soul, and I gave a biblical kind of idea of it because the Bible used the word soul. So, and then I was saying that soul just means your personhood, who you are. And then we moved on to, I think what you guys are, when you say soul, you actually mean spirit. And then we started talking about physical things that exist and non-physical things that exist and non-physical things that can affect you physically. And Shannon, you seem to understand that and agree with that. I think Paul was saying, though, that there are some things that everything that exists is physical, and there's nothing that is in reality that is non-physical. Am I correct in that, Paul?
Well, yes, with the notion of that, I don't. So this is a philosophical discussion for sure, and this is one of those things where there's good minds on both sides. I get it, but I do not accept, and I'm in good company. I do not accept that abstractions are things in a meaningful way, like that the number 8, even though it's an abstraction that could survive humanity's extinction.
Humanity's,
I'm
assuming
as an
you
abstraction,
mean
like that
any
doesn't
type of
mean
conscious
that doesn't
being extinction.
like. So I just it's going to be weirdly nuanced, but no, I don't think that abstractions are physical things. I get that some people want to argue, William Lane Craig in particular, that they are things. I don't buy it. So that's where I'm
I
at.
don't think they're physical, and I'm not a William Lane Craig fan at all. But all right, so for example, let's think about information, right? Information, you would say information is physical or non-physical?
I would say that information is an abstraction, a
You don't think
non-physical
that it impacts us
abstraction of
in a major way?
I said it's an abstraction of something real. Information is an abstraction of something real. Even if if the information is Gandalf the wizard who doesn't exist, it's still an abstraction of a concept. And,
right. There are pointy hats. We
find concepts to. Sure. So like in these trivial ways, Matthew, I forget where the ... therefore what?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm at a ... therefore. I take small steps, and I know I've dealt with this in a line before. I don't
so
take
information.
Really take steps
So information, by my view, and let me know if you disagree. And Shannon, let me know if she disagrees. Is an abstraction of either of concepts or an abstraction of like a photo. Like we can have information about my dog, how long my dog is, how tall my dog is, what color my dog is, the gender of my dog.
How loud your dog is.
How loud my dog is. These are all details, right? That are information that are, again, they affect my life, but they carry on.
But they exist in reality, correct?
Well, they are abstractions of real things.
So I'm very simple. So yes or no, do they exist in reality?
Define exist for me.
To be.
Define to be for me.
I feel like I'm going to go in a circle. Like exist.
Well, like I don't think a proposition exists, right? Like my dog is a beagle is a proposition. That proposition itself has no form. So I don't say it exists, but other definitions of existence might vary. So I'm going to say no.
Okay. So yeah, so maybe you can define exist for me. Your form of it, your definition of existence, I guess.
My form of existence would be something represented in reality. And reality is adjudicated by predictive power. So for example, if I want to say my dog exists, I can make predictions that will either fail or come true based on whether so for example, if I want to say that my dog exists, I can predict that if I leave food in the food dish, that she will come eat it. I can predict that if someone walks by the window, she will bark at them. Like, I can make future predictions to test the reality of my dog. Does that make sense?
But do those predictions exist in your definition of existence? That makes sense.
No, because I can't make future predictions
So
about my future predictions.
you can't make, okay. I mean, I can understand how you're explaining that. I'm not sure I agree with what you're saying, but I'm not sure if that's how I define existence.
That's why I was asking how you defined it, because I'm willing to go on your, if you propose something else, I'm willing to go with you, but I just don't know how to get off what I go with.
Yeah. So I would say something that like that comports with reality. I would go even where that.
Well, that's just truth, right? The truth is the extent to which a proposition comports to reality. So my dog can't actually purport to reality, right? Like my dog, I have to make propositions to be truth. My dog doesn't have truth value. Propositions have truth value.
So what was your definition of exist again? And can we kind of connect that to truth? And I want to ask, according to you, does truth exist? But can you say your definition of existence again?
Something exists if it is part of reality, and reality, whether or not something is part of reality, is adjudicated by predictive power.
Okay, so does truth exist in your worldview?
Truth is a measure in my worldview. Truth is a measure. It's a proportion to which a proposition conforms to reality as adjudicated by predictive power. So does that help you at all? I know I rattled that off because I've said it 1,000 times, and so I don't mean to
that's
be
fine.
rattly.
That's totally fine. So for me, I guess, like, again, being simple again, according to you, does truth exist? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, that's interesting. And then this is kind of where we left off in our last talk. This wasn't, I guess, meant to be a long conversation. I just kind of wanted to see your point of view.
So let me ask you this. So Matthew, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Does length exist to you?
Yes.
Length just exists.
Yeah, it does.
And temperature just exists. So any unit of measurement to you somehow exists.
Yes.
Okay. I don't understand how that's a meaningful definition of existence. Maybe you can help me.
So we can use things to measure a length, right? We have things in order to test whether length exists, so to speak. How do
No.
You're measuring tape.
You are okay. I shouldn't interrupt you because you're trying to explain your worldview. I was rude there, and I'm very sorry. Please continue.
That's fine. I can take a measuring tape and then I can show you what length is, and like, this is length and this exists, so this is something that exists. It is.
No, you've shown me the length of something.
Right, but if I show you the length of something, that
you've told me
also
property
exists.
of a thing.
So
the property of a thing also exists.
Did I make up length? There's the what? Yeah, the length.
Length is a property of a thing. Length is a property of a thing that exists, right?
That's very true.
A stick has length. A house has length. My car has length. But I don't understand what length means absent a thing.
So what you're saying is that you need a thing in order to describe length. The length is predicated on a thing existing. Without a thing existing, there would be no length.
I'm saying that length is an incoherent concept if it's not applied to a thing.
And I hear what you're saying, and it's pretty interesting. But when I think about existence, like going back, and I know this may not sound like I'm going somewhere else, but you can't get something from nothing. We know that we can redefine nothing if you want to, but from the nothing definition of no thing. So existence, things always exist.
So hold on.
Yeah.
You're aware, right, that virtually no one, only Christians think ex nihilo, right?
No, I don't believe in ex nihilo.
Okay, but of the small group of people who do believe in ex nihilo,
Yeah.
they're all theists, right? I'm cool. I just was clearing the air on that. Awesome. Carry on.
Okay. Yeah. So all things existence has always been. So that would mean length would be something that's always been, because you have to measure the length of something, even if it's a small hot dot. It would have some type of length, even if it was
we're
like
not disagreeing.
0.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing. There was something there which had length. So we don't actually understand. Length actually only makes. We don't know if length makes sense outside of our space time.
Mm-hmm.
Length may not make sense outside of our space time. So
that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going, Matthew?
But my point is, pardon?
I'm just wondering where
are we going?
So I'm just trying. We're talking about existence. We're talking about do things
right,
like length exist.
Yeah, and I say that's a property of a thing, not a thing. And you somehow want to say that properties of things are also things, which
right. And
okay.
And the way I'm proving that is that things like length always existed because things always existed. So I can walk with you on what you're saying.
But you understand that didn't change. That doesn't defeat what I said. In fact, it seems to help what I said.
No, I'm not trying to defeat what you're saying. I'm walking with you on saying that, but I'm also
okay. We're walking.
Yeah, I'm also adding that thought to it and kind of bouncing that thought off. Now saying that since things always existed, now if things didn't always exist, then I would say, okay, now I can see that length had to come into existence because of things that exist. But since things always exist, I know this kind of sounds circular, I guess, but since things always exist, that means that length always exists as well.
Well, this is where that's where I qualified space-time, because I'm not convinced that space-time always existed.
Okay. Even in the hot dot, even with the singularity, that wouldn't be space-time wouldn't be included in there.
I don't think that anyone would claim to have enough knowledge about what happened before the expansion to be able to say that physics worked in the same way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So to be fair, then we would just, from your point of view, you couldn't tell me whether length exists or not from that whole point of view, from what I kind of brought out.
I'm agnostic on whether agnostic in the I don't know sense. I don't know if length existed before the Big Bang.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that thought process. I'm not trying to argue, I guess, with you or anything. I'm just trying to see where you're coming from, and it just gives me more things to think about when I'm walking to the store or something.
Okay. Keep in mind,
yeah,
people tell me that I'm a philosophical idiot, so you should probably check what I'm saying.
No, I appreciate
people certainly do say that about you emphatically and in public.
No, I appreciate. I don't think you're philosophical.
But I am being honest about my thought process. So,
I appreciate it nevertheless.
Flawed as it may be.
So, yeah. So you gave me something to think about. Obviously, I don't agree with you there, but it gave me something to think about. So that's all I really have. Unless you guys have anything for me, I really don't have anything else.
No,
I wasn't trying to have a long conversation. All righty.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. Have a good rest of your day.
Yep. Take care. You too.
Thanks. Bye.